Hello everyone, welcome back. You're familiar with the format by now, I imagine, but we are going to play the second semi-final from this year's World Championships 2025. It is the mighty Crystal Hunter playing Skaven versus the indomitable Dark Elves of PurpleChest. And I'm AndyDavo. Whoever they play, whoever wins will be playing me in the grand final, as we saw in the last video. If you haven't checked that one out, please click back one and have a quick look. If you are enjoying the content from the YouTubes, where I'm going back and commentating on all the games that have taken place, please do write a comment. I really enjoy reading them, and these videos do take me a little bit of time to create. So if you're enjoying them, please let me know. I can do more of them. Other thing, which I'm just going to, while the two teams do this, I'm going to stand up for a second and look. I have a Blood Bowl open. This is a tabletop t-shirt. So I'm wearing last year's t-shirt from my tournament. If you want to come to my tournament, it will be on the first weekend in September, held in Sheffield in the UK. Last year we had 150 people. It's a new player focus, and this year will be no different. If you do want to attend my tournament, then do drop me a line and let me know. Tickets will be going on sale in January. That's January 2026 if you're watching this on YouTube, which you must be because this isn't on Twitch. Right, anyway, over to the game. This game's going to be completely different to the last one if you watch these in series, because the Dark Elves are very, very strong on defense, and the Skaven are incredibly strong on defense. So the two teams are going to both want to be on defense, which means good news for us. It's great to watch, no matter who's attacking. The Skaven MO has been recently ram Rat Ogre into ball and see what happens. And from my perspective, when I play this match, because I love playing Dark Elves into this matchup, what I like to try and do is I need to take all of my hits all of the time. And then what I'm trying to do is chip some Skaven, right? I've got to punch 2 or 3 Skaven a turn. They've got to punch 1 of me a turn. And whoever gets the removals really can dominate the other one. And what we only need to do as the Dark Elves is we need to make sure that we don't get the Rat Ogre on the ball. So you want to take constantly. You want to be taking a double screen. Dark Elves getting off to an immense start straight away. We got a removal out of the gate. So if he gets a knockdown here and he gets another knockdown here, if the line of scrimmage follows, if he follows here, he can then blitz here, and this is fine. Doesn't choose to go for the blitzy blue. So this is okay. Moves the runner, interesting. And he's going to leave himself with no blitz target here. Because it's God. I'm wrong. Sorry. That's a commentator curse. That's just inaccurate, factually inaccurate from Davo there. I think the blitzer there should have gone here. And then you can dodge this guy off. Otherwise, you're eating a Mighty Blow hit from the Mighty Blow blitz that's clearly going to come towards you. And then you're going to Rat Ogre get punched as well. So I think we should probably have looked to get that off. Get that away. Escape it. God damn it. How many ways are going to make this a mistake? And then the ball needs to come up way over here, which is far enough away from the Rat Ogre as possible. Rat Ogre, could of course get cross and punch the line rat here. It doesn't on this occasion. We've seen a double armor break, but no removal just yet. So we already know that the ball probably needs to go away. And there's 2 different ways the Skaven can win this, of course, right? They've got the strip baller. And they've also got the Rat Ogre. Surprised slightly that we didn't see the Witch Elf steamroller through the Gutter Runner there. Because if the Witch Elf gets 4 dice, you got more chance of rolling a kapow. And the Dark Elves are always going to need to form a solid box, because otherwise, at any point, the Rat Ogre, the strip baller can just get charged in. So, Trixie. Interesting to give away a free hit there. I'm not sure about that. Now, I did commentate on this game in real world, so I do know a good chunk of what actually happens here. Interesting to see Crystal Hunter not blitzing with a Mighty Blow Vermin there. I thought he might have done, but it looks like we're going to then see the Rat Ogre get inserted into the cage. And in fact, this is T-shape into T-shape, so we're not even might be. This is a factually we are going to. And what I guess what he's trying to do here is just say, right, okay, fine. Here's a problem for you to solve. Crystal Hunter almost certainly wants to see a POW straight out the gate. Doesn't get a removal from PurpleChest. Does get the POW. And you can push the line man away. And then you've clocked a strength 5 thing on the ball with a guard protection. So choices straight away. Are the Dark Elves going to screen this, or are they going to one dice this? So I like the idea, given that PurpleChest had 3 rerolls. He didn't do it in real time. You've just seen him already dodge away. But I thought he might have just one dice that. But it looks like he's going to try and pop open this guy. We've given it some food. Remember, in commentary, we were a bit unsure about whether you want to be giving things food or not. I guess the idea of the food is that let's cut corners. Is that the food means the Ratog's going that way and you want to go that way. That works if, of course, you can dominate the space in front of the cage. By not being able to dominate, by not being able to dominate space in front of the cage, what we are seeing is the Skaven will just get in front of you. Now, if Crystal Hunter wasn't already incentivized to be doing double Mighty Blow hits a turn, he absolutely now is, because the Skaven have seen the Apothecary go. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He can't get back in here. I think that's where he was trying to get himself. I think he was trying to put his tail on here. He doesn't. Very smart. Uses. We've seen this time and again from the Skaven, which is what they're trying to do now, is keep the Rat Ogre available for next turn. In my streaming studio, it is suddenly got a little bit warmer, so never mind. And this is almost like rocking us a chain backwards and forwards, right? We were here on turn 2. We're now here on turn 4. It's wild. This is a lot of dice rolls. And the other thing that concerns me here is we've got a gap, right? We're going to see the Rat Ogre get inserted fully. This was fine if there was not a gap, but there is. So, Skaven armor currently holding. Holding on to what, you might ask? So he's going to get 3 dice if he comes over the top here. He's not got any food. Oh, he has got food. He's got food behind him. And this time it is a removal. And he is now chasing onto a blodger. In World Championship finals, sneaky but effective solution is constantly to always ask your opponent, if you have a choice between a push and a stumbles, immediately flick the option onto a stumbles, because that puts them on pressure onto their time bank. So you get your first 30 seconds is free every turn, and then you're straight into time bank maneuvers. So you should always do that. It's a bit naughty, but it's not. It's just playing the situation. So the ball has been bounced out, and the ball is now cut back inside again. So this is turn 2, turn 4. So this is turn 3 and turn 5. We're seeing the same scenarios. Interesting to not see that go north. He kind of feels as though, I suppose, given that the Rat Ogre has got some tails, he can't do anything particularly too wild. At the time I commentated on this, was like, ooh, 3 Mighty Blow hits for everyone. And we probably need to see the Witch Elf come slightly further south. Because ultimately what the Dark Elves are trying to do is trying to angle the escape mechanism away. Is he going to... Yeah, he needs one more. Oh no, he's left a gap again. So one more there means that the Skaven have got to go a little bit further around to get a top across the top. They haven't got it. The mighty blow. Never mind, the leader reroll had already been deployed. I'm going to see the rat ogre get slammed into it again, I guess. Crystal Hunter not spent any of his 2 rerolls, so he has the 3rd reroll. It's on the bench. And that is definitely dead, because the Apothecary was deployed on a KO earlier in the drive. And I can promise you that this is unpleasant. From the Dark Elves' perspective, this is not what you want to be seeing. It is escapable, right? That's a 2+ we can get over here. The ball can probably, if as long as it don't fuck up the dodge. Promise I didn't know that was going to fuck up, or not. We probably need to go for it here. I think, yeah, I think this was the turn where I'd have put some in, go for it in, because if I pause. I don't like pausing it because there's quite a lot in these games, but I think we could have run her across. So 1, 2, 3. Wait for this to go away. 4, 5, 6, 7, and we could have built a home for ourselves here, which is 2 or 3 squares further north, which is great for us. And more importantly, we haven't got a fucking gap at the back here, which is definitely a problem. Good news though for the Skaven is. Also, Dark Elves is that the Rat Ogre is not going to come hurtling in again. Bad news is there is 1D on strip. Rolls 1, rolls a skull, re-rolls both, gets a push, so the ball is now on the floor, and 2 Gut Runners are yet to act. Where is this ball going? Holy moly, Jeff. Now, I was really surprised about that in the real world, and I'm going to have to commentate. I'm not going to pause these because this is a super long set, but the point that was why I didn't get it. The block Gut Runner, just run around and pick the fucking thing up, right? PurpleChest has got to get the ball back off a block thing, and this was planned for extreme success, and I thought that was just a bit wild. It was just a bit too wild. It was. Variance, right? Down here, not very good. Up here, success, 1-0. And it was just a bit too angled towards the top end of what was likely to happen. But we're just still on 3 rerolls, so we can afford to throw some bubble at this. Shipballer is still fully armed and operational. Double go for it from the line man. Yep. There we go. He's done it. And then he's... I think once you've made one escape, you have to make the other, because otherwise the line rat punches you away, and the Gut Runner... sorry, the Gut Runner, the big lad comes hurtling in. Unfortunately, he had his shoulder put out there by trying to pat the rat ogre on the top of the head and just jiggle under his chin. So, remember, the Dark Elves are down to 10, possibly 8. Shipballer going the easy way round. But unfortunately rolls double skulls. That'll be an instant apothecary, I imagine. It is. The chap with the cleaver has said he is fine. And so PurpleChest on turn 8 has the decision point to make, which is he going to throw any hits? It looks like the answer is going to be yes. Given that the Apothecary for the Skaven has gone, not an unreasonable decision to be making. And then the Dark Elves are almost certainly going to hurtle in and be 1-0 at the half. So in they go. Right, what woke up? KOs for the Dark Elves. Where's the log gone? We've got 1, so they're playing off 9. The Skaven have got 13, so they're playing off a full deck. It's changing weather, so It's as you were for what is basically a free 1 turn. In fact, this is a free 1 turn, right? Just is. The Dark Elves don't have enough to get through, so it's going to be 3-3-2 to get through. This guy at the back probably could have been a bit further forward if we'd have seen a blitz. So 3 dice, all very strong. And in fact, if the Rat Ogre activates and doesn't fuck up, then we're going to have to close the door here, and he's saving himself a go for it. Rat Baron is on 1 reroll. There we go. And it's 3-3-2 to score. All very easy. Dark Elves didn't get their KO back, so they're playing off 9, Skaven off a full deck. So Skaven, if they score on turn 16, then this is game on. This is looking like my opponent, well, it's too early to call, I suppose, but it's looking very strong, isn't it? And a blitz. They can move 6 full players. It's a 1D. Doesn't choose to activate here. I think that's very wise. And then we've got the last of the dudes that come around. And I like this because it just tied up yet another line rat. And he caught the ball on a 4. So, you're not wanting to send the Rat Ogre in. Are you blitzing with a thrower? Nope, you're rolling a full pow. Oh, it's in a 4+ situation. Rat Ogre can move and come hurtling through. Can the Rat Ogre find a pow? And are we picking the ball up? Surely we're dodging out and picking the ball up here. This is very scary for Skaven. Ball is picketed. And he's left him 4+ for 2D on the ball. Woof. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this guy can get around the corner, and then we can do 4+ for 2D on the ball, and then the Witch Elf can just run through. Dodging, procs dodge. And in fact, we do indeed see that initial line of play. And he goes for the same play that I suggested. Throw's going to clearly throw a reroll this. Gets dealer's choice in terms of pows. Probably doesn't see the scatter that he was looking for there. And the Witch Elf get the ball. Witch Elf? That elf. Absolutely is the answer. Now the Rat Ogre's down. The other Witch Elf should be able to hurtle down the side as well. And that Rat Ogre is stunned. Can she get through? Haha! It didn't. It looks better than it did, right? Because you could have just run down the sideline. It didn't matter. But that's quite funny. So if we can move this guy out of the way, then we can get the strip ball on the ball. And Crystal Hunters 2 Storm Vermin, sorry, Skaven Blitzers as they are currently, are doing the Lord's work. Pow. You've got to hit it with strip ball, haven't you? Because you've just got to get the ball back. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we can hit it with strip ball south. And then you've got 2 gutter runners to pick the ball up. But how are you going to make this safe afterwards? He's got to cut the diagonal. Yep. Gets the ball. Very smart. Well, if that hadn't stunned itself, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 dice into 1 dice. That's not very nice. Now it's 2 dice into 2 dice. Or are you going to go this way? It's harder, but the scatter chance is much better. Wow, you've gone for the harder. And if she picks this up, this is 2-0. He's got it. Mega aggression from PurpleChest paying off there. The Skaven, what were 1-1 and receiving, now 2-1 behind and receiving. This is, yeah, as they say in French, les terribles. Interesting small point of note from Crystal Hunter is that he doesn't use the Gut Runner to take the 3rd hit there, because if you do that and you put that as the Gut Runner, then you can do fun things with the Gut Runner. But never mind. Dark Elves now down to 8 to defend. And I reckon you have to pick this up on a gutter. Not everyone agrees with me, so it seems. Fine. So, first turn is to get the 2 linemen back on the game. In the game. Not on the game. Definitely do not get linemen on the game. That's funny if you're English speaking. Oh dear. I don't like hanging this guy out at all. I know you've used the reroll, but from the Skaven's perspective, just getting that guy smashed and having another player down, I think it's not good. But you do, and you also know that you're going to be, I can't believe you didn't go for it. Uh-oh. So it looks like Skaven are going to try and bomb through here. Skaven indeed bombing through. Yeah. Where's the ball going? I think it's going just here. So we've seen PurpleChest time and again declare that a 5+ 1D is absolutely what he wants to take on. And he's been offered a 5+ 1D. So he's now setting for it. And in he goes. She doesn't make it at this particular juncture. Never mind. But whenever you're doing these dives, you've always got to be... let's just turn the board around and watch it from the Skaven's perspective. You've got to be super careful because like these 2 players didn't activate at all that turn. So because they didn't activate, when the ball moves forward, you're not setting yourselves up. I think that I love the dedication to the dive, and I think that when it works, because it does work from time to time, you get paid handsomely for it. I wonder sometimes whether or not the consistent diving, is it the right approach? That's not what I mean. I mean it's that sometimes when I've done coaching sessions, I talk about the setup turn and the go turn. And so the setup turn is the turn before the dive, where you're making sure that when the dive happens, you're all great. So Crystal Hunter had to foul the prone witch elf there. She was far too eligible to get in. And this is what I would classify as a go turn. Sorry, a setup turn. And he's creating the opportunity. And then she comes again. She rolled a 3. And that's 4 5+ in a row that he has not found. And unfortunately, one of the witch elves is now stunned. There is some psychological effect of doing these constant dives. That you're constantly going, okay, right, so you're going to dive. Okay, whew, right, how are we going to deal with a dive next time? And I'm sure Crystal Hunter would be looking at this going, how on earth do I get some guard on this? So at least if you dive in, it's not into a 1D. So I'd be very surprised if we don't see this shoved somewhere in to create some conditions. And I am very surprised, clearly. So this is a turn for me where you PurpleChest can have one more chance to go for this. One of his Witch Elves is stunned. I think this is what I would call a classic setup turn, where what you try and do is you try and limit where the Skaven can go, and you can just put pressure on, right? Just pressurize the Skaven. Some corner cutting to the extreme there. 3-3-2 was a bit extreme with one reroll. He's put all of his rerolls in. But what he has managed to achieve by doing this is that he has managed... Jesus Christ. Okay, that was just... That was possibly a little bit too exorbitant, exuberant, extravagant. There was not as much need for that last dodge. That was... Wow. Finds the Capel on the Witch, breaks the arm of the Witch, so now you've only got one Witch to deal with. So you may as well put Tail on the Witch. Yeah, there we go. And then you're going to run across. Now, you haven't got an easy get out here. I wonder if he'd foul with the other Gutter Runner on the Witch. Because if you foul the Gutter Runner, well, your choices. I think there's a better square. Because, yeah, look at this, right? He's clearly going to come in this way. I guess what you're trying to do here is you're saying, well, it doesn't care. I don't care if you come in this way, because the bobble ability will be in here, and you're not going to get through. Right, so it's gone to 2-2. Unless Junta does something really silly, which he does not. So, can the Dark Elves find a 1-turn? No. There we go. Right. The reason I'm jumping through is because I know that this is a 2-all draw. So we're going to jump into the second game. Oh, that's game one. In we go. Right, so first game was a draw. That means that any result, either coach wins, this then pushes it to Ratman chose to receive, chose to win the kick and received. Can we play these in the normal colours? I think we can probably get away with playing these in the two normal colours. There we go. Yeah, I think we can probably get away with this. Do you know what we need? We need the ability to have different colours, right? Like red, blue's fine, but it's a little bit boring. We need other choices. And while I'm on that topic, actually, considering we know that 5 months' time where Warhammer Blood Bowl is coming in, what feature do you think is currently missing in Blood Bowl 3 that you would really, really like to see in the new edition, right? It can be anything you like. Please, 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 please let me know what you think is missing in Blood Bowl 3 that could be in the new game, because this is a once in a generation chance for us to get other features and stuff. So tell me now. Dark Elves being pummeled initially. And we've already seen this, so now we've got a style of play here from Crystal Hunter, which is that the Rat Ogre is always going to stand in the middle and dominate. So I'd like to see the ball. I'd like to see date elves. Date elves. I'd like to see them dive down the flanks and cause all manner of carnage. And it looks like, given that this flank is nice and open, that we could come through here. And the other thing you can do is you can start touching the Agi 3 elves on a 1-to-1. So where's your blitz? Is your blitz down here? Is this witch elf coming down the side? It turns out no. So one more square, thank you very much. So not quite as much pressure as I envisaged. But already Crystal Hunter, now I'm finding it, finding it a bit difficult to deal with this guy. The cage has now got 3 gutter runners on 3 sides. And if the Rat Ogre doesn't roll a pow straight out the gate here, it's going to be a little isolated. So he's committed that, but got the gutter runner, the Rat Ogre, isolated. And I think that the Dark Elves could now spend a turn here, picking on that Rat Ogre. Both teams got a bribe off the kickoff event, so not unreasonable to start trying to chew down these guys, and not particularly difficult either. I think this guy comes in, we do a 2 dice block here, the leader comes over the top, and then we can actually blitz the Rat Ogre. Wow, going for the most greedy line of play that even I didn't initially call out. I don't hate it at all, but I think it's super greedy. Love it. Love to see coaches really go for absolutely everything. This will have to be a reroll if it wasn't a knockdown, but it is, so we don't need to. And then I think the Witch Elf probably needs to tuck in a little bit. And then you're going to do a foul on the Rat Ogre, +4. Rolls a 3, that's impressive. As in, that's terrible. Crystal Hunter now going to dive through the board and put the dudes in here, I guess. Skaven will be slightly careful that you don't stand this up, actually. Otherwise you'd have a connected cage. So there's no universe where that Rat Ogre can stand up. And turn 3, the Skaven they're being harassed and harried into the end zone. Well, they're going to be harassed and harried, should I say. So straight away, we can blitz a choice of targets. See how I said in the last game that the Dark Elves are so much stronger on defense? This is kind of why that they're able to isolate something. That I have to admit, I think that was Crystal Hunter's fault for sending that guy in. He needed to have not done that, in my view. And this is where I was... Oh my god, he goes for the dive. Wow. All right, so he's gone for the... I can't believe we went for the dive there. Went for the dive. Goes for the pickup. So it's 4+ dodge in, dodge pops, pickup works. It's a 3-up dodge out. And away we go. And the Dark Elves have once again taken the Skaven's trousers and put them around the Skaven's ankles. So we've talked about my offense being a bit shaky. What about the Skaven's? Skaven offense being shaky. Who'd have thought it? Who'd have thought it? Skaven offense famously good, of course. How'd you have bad offense as Skaven? So getting the maximum amount of his Apothecary there. Good use of Apothecary. I am, of course, jesting slightly. It is incredibly difficult to deal with these 5-up dodges in. Crystal Hunter putting a reroll into this. Getting maximum pow. Into armor break. Into perfect scatter. Literally perfect scatter. The ball needs picketing, uppeting. That was a handoff action, declare. Why? I'm clearly not a Skaven coach. Right, I always just play this safe lines of play. Now, in commentary, I pointed this out that there is a surf on the ball, which was not taken. So it is here, and I'm going to quickly just see if I can spot it again. So I'm going to pause this and see whether or not it's there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I think the better line of play is, given that you're prepared to throw 3 pluses at like candy, then we can do this, and then we can push it into the other witch elf, and the other witch elf can have a go. Or we just need to tag, this guy could have just tagged both of these, and then you can throw a block here, and then we can potentially dive in on a 4. Let's see what actually happens. Here it comes. So 3 plus no work, and the Skaven have kind of got away with this, because all that pressure we had a second ago is just melted. Like new snow in a hot summer's day. But I don't think this is going to stop the Skaven being dived on again. But turn 5, the ball is now basically safe. Worth noting maybe that the idea there of tempo control, that's not a thermostat, that is literally like whether or not you should dive or set, is quite interesting to look at. If the Witch Elf here wasn't stunned, I think we'd almost certainly be seeing dives on balls, but it is. So how do we get the other Witch Elf downfield? PurpleChest sat on a full 4 rerolls, so almost certainly is going to want to apply some serious pressure to this. Wowie. And then can actually get around the top here. So that's now stopping the stall square. She's jumping over. Hooray! I like the positioning there from being in the center of the field, because what that's doing for you is he's not put a reroll into that. He's hold all 4 rerolls for either dodging later or for the 1 turn. And I guess given the fact that we are still on 10 players, I think the 1 turn is very reasonable. Let's just zoom this in a touch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we're going to put the ball there. Where's the other witch? Chain the witch into here? It's only 2 squares of chain. No, because we can't get at that square there. So no, this is another one of those. Right, it's turn 6. It's fine. Do a setup turn, or do a 5 plus dive in again turn. So when you do the half setup, right? So here there's not pressure on the cage. So Skaven are just going to go. If it works, wicked. You got 2 dice on the ball, right? I get it. But when it doesn't work, your next turn, you're going to have to build the pressure from the beginning again. So I really, really, really like the idea that the pressure is like crank, 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 go. And yes, that leaves you with fewer players to recover when the ball does get popped. But it also means that when the ball doesn't get popped, you're in so much of a stronger situation. Because look at what the Skaven have managed to accomplish in this turn, right? Look at that. That is, I wouldn't say it's bulletproof, but it's certainly toughened glass, isn't it? And the Dark Elves, they had the ball on it. They had the ball. This is a situation where they had the ball. They were going to the final. They were going to do the a cappella. They were in. Puts the reroll in, and annoyingly, from the Dark Elf perspective there, it gets punished. Now, have we seen the Apothecary go? We have, and there is a surfable Witch Elf. So, given that this is match 2, and if this goes well, are we going to surf the Witch? No, we've rolled POWs. I think we would almost certainly have seen a Witch surf. Just the casual 5 assists there for this gutter runner, and then kills the leader. So Dark Elves being very heavily punished there for their half pressure. So can they find a 1-turn? No, I don't know what went wrong, but something went wrong. So Dark Elves are playing for their tournament life now. But the Rat Ogre has stayed out. Let's just jump to turn 9 of the Dark Elves, get rid of the thing on the middle of the field. So we know that the Rat Ogre is out, and it's KO'd out, so we don't know if it's coming back. That's fine. Very fine, Davo. Shut up. This Witch Elf's going to be exposed. There's going to be an exposed Witch. We need 2 exposed Witches. We're going to get double Witch Elf slam punchery. Also, by the way, there's a bribe on the table. I can't believe the Skaven are not looking at this going, hang on, right, what? You get a punch, and you get a punch. Yeah, this Dark Elf Blitz is going to get knocked over and fouled, probably. Yep. +4 on the Dark Elf Blitzer. Doesn't do anything, because he rolls terribly. And both Witch Elves don't get killed. Both teams still got a Dark Elf, a Dark Elf bribe. Still got a bribe, whatever type of bribe you want to call that. Whether it's a Dark Elf one or not. And they need to dig that Blitzer out that's got itself into a bit of bother. There we go. Right, out the Blitz Elf. Out the Blitzer comes. That is a big hit because that's a guard. That reduces the probability we're going to see a 1-turn. Crystal Hunter is winning, so probably his best out here is the 1-turn. T-shape, so we can get a free Mighty Blow hit on the Blitzer. And if we get a POW here, then I think what we'll also see is the foul on the Witch Elf. Although it'll be +1. Oh no. Meep. I would have gone for the foul there. No foul has been declared. Okay, foul. Oh yes, because we can hit the Blitzer. Yeah. Double 5, and a 7. If they'd rolled those the other way around, that would have been a dead Blitzer. But we didn't, so it isn't. So it's not. little box. Dark Elves. This is where Dark Elves are so strong, that they are just able to just constantly slalom down the field in a box, shape formation, and they're just dominating everything around them. Right. This has 181 written all over it. Not sure why we're cutting corners. Because we wanted to stand in front of the cage, though, that's why. All right. Very reasonable. Yeah, it's the crack on the, you know what I'm talking about. You know what, I think you know. If you know, you know. If you don't want to know. Far more effective when you can do this with a strength 5 thing, isn't it? But it is asking the Dark Elves to roll dice. But I worry that this is not only asking the Dark Elves to roll dice, this is asking the Dark Elves to murderize your team. Because you do this to me, I'm like, yep, fine, you get a punch, and you get a punch, and you get a punch, and and there's no team left. So very careful. Yeah, concerning. This is concerning. But snakes happen. Not on this turn, though. But if that had snaked, right, yeah, Chunter had a 2% win rate there. Oh, it's the front of his, his thing. It's the, I think if it was playing cricket, it'd be his cup, wouldn't it? Or baseball, I believe. That's the other. Yes. But one of the gut runners has been hoovered off the pitch. Now we've got a lot more passive line of play here. Witch Elf comes through, steaming through. Witch Elves are great blitzers. I know the blitzers are called blitzers, but the Witch Elves are better at it. They just are. Right, I'm going to just kind of flick through this because I can tell you what happens broadly, which is just watch the ball jumping forwards, right? I'm moving it slowly forwards. The Dark Elves just kind of slowly hoover themselves forward. Nothing interesting so far is happening until we get to this situation here. We've seen the Dark Elves do this a couple of times. This is very, very nice from the perspective of being able to generate additional value. Now, I wonder if there is a play here, because I think at the time I got quite excited because I thought there was a surf on the ball. I don't see it. Punch and follow. Maybe there is a play on the ball. He doesn't get it. He doesn't go for it. And he kills his gutter runner. Oof. But it's the right play to go for the one turn. So he scores. And then we've got to watch one turn. Let's just flick it forward. Oh, back a bit. Right, here we go. Here comes the one turn. He takes the... Wait, what? Oh, because we've had a riot. Yes. That's why. Yes. Right. Crystal Hunter's still on 3 rerolls, of course, and if he scores, he wins. And I'm playing Crystal Hunter in the final. I am playing Crystal Hunter in the final. No, I am. So these two are performing the situation known as cage. Pick up the ball, throw it to the gutter runner. Very nice. Double go for it because you've got the rerolls. Throw it on a 2, catch it on a 2, stick the ball inside a cage on a 2, and then this guy needs to stand there. No, he needs to stand there. That's a 5+ dodge in. That's definitely going to happen. Because that then is a 6+. Every single, all of these 4 squares, right? The Rat Ogre's providing the extra assist on a 6. So in she comes. Does she roll a 5 or a 6? She rolls a 6. Oh, it wouldn't have mattered. Last team reroll, playing for his tournament life, gets the POW. He's got the POW. Where's the ball going? Doesn't get it because it's a tackle zone. Doesn't get it in. Right, so all we need to do now is clear the storm vermin. Nope. Not quite last reroll. So guy goes into the scoring threat. And it looks like the thrower. Because don't forget, the throwers are basically missiles. So that's fine. Can Shunter find the kapow? That's no good. That's good. So he's now throwing it for his tournament life. For a spot in the grand final. And another 1,000 euros. He fucks it up. So we're going to a third game then. Let's quickly get into the third game. Apologies. Of course, I know whether there's a third game or not. And I think it's critical that we get through this quickly. So we're going in. This is the final game. This is what it's been building up for. And the Rat Baron chooses to receive the ball again. Skippity, 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 skippity. There we go. Point of armor value on the gutter runner holding the ball. The gutter runner holding the ball is the strip baller. And the Dark Elves not lost anyone yet. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's probably not worth going for, is it? Your initial setup is, let's go and hammer. Let's go and hammer things. I like what the idea here is the Dark Elves is. Witch Elf should be doing the blitz. It's just better knock. It's better knockdown percentage. Just is. Right, get all of those players on a 1-1 touch constantly. Because if you can do all the 1-1 touching, then the Skaven offense falls apart over like 3 turns. We've also got a surf on the table here, because this is fucked up. If this is a push, which it is, the Witch Elf goes against the edge. We stay put. And we give the Rat Ogre some food, and he comes in and slam surfs the Witch. Sadly doesn't, but might break armor. Doesn't. Okay. Gutter Runner takes the 2D hit here, and then we can step this guy away, and we're clearly having to do a foul, which is +3. So this guy is actually aim at 8, 7, 6+. It's basically a snotling. Weird to give away the free hit there. Weird. And the referee has found you. Double 3 and then a 6. So you didn't break armor, you did get kicked out. And sad times, you could have been several players up and you weren't. You're actually a player down. That's tricky. And this is match 3. This is winner takes all. Wasn't a fan of giving away the free hit on that gutter run a bit. Protection against surfage. Now, this is something that doesn't happen very often, but will happen to everyone. Watch closely. So he fails his blitz. He takes down the line man. He removes the line man, and he's going to blitz this guy here. But annoyingly, I think that manual pathing takes place. So instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, it goes 1, 2, 3 and makes a 5-up dodge. And unfortunately fails. And now the ball is rather exposed. And 3 dice, drags it down using wrestle. That's fine because we can do a 2d block here to push this guy out. Yeah, should have been there. That's adding a dodge for no reason. And the ball is on the floor. Adding a dodge for no reason. Didn't need to be a thing. Oh dear. Oh dear. But it is inside 3 tackle zones. 3. It should be okay. I mean, you would have failed the pickup. Because you failed the snake to dodge. The rat ogre can now blitz from the floor, killing the leader in the process. And can hit here. We can have a better scatter. But this is a real disaster from the Dark Elves perspective. They had this, then they didn't have this. Then they had it again. No, they didn't, they did, and now they don't. And the ball has gone very kindly. Many tackle zones from the rat ogre's tail here. And off they run. Tricky. This is going to take some mental fortitude to get past this, I think for both coaches, right? Because as Crystal Hunter, you're still reeling like that from the misclick, which... And it's not just a misclick from the fact that it's a misclick. It's a misclick from the fact that you know live 1,000 people are watching, right? And you're going to feel like embarrassed. I know I would feel embarrassed. I've done this. I did this in a World Championship finals not long ago. It was not long ago. Not in Blood Bowl 3, but in Blood Bowl 2, I had a misclick when the UI was a little bit easier to do these things. And it was horrendous. It took... I don't actually think I got past it. So I can not only understand where this is from, I have physically done it. Doesn't use the blitzer. I liked using the blitzer there, I think. I think the blitzer, because the knockdown percentage from the blitzer is far stronger. And ultimately the ball is on the floor and placed gently and lovingly on the floor. That means that Witch Elf can just get out. So, going for the 3-up dodge, 3-up pickup, 3-up dodge. Not sure we need to go crazy on the dodges here. Right, now you're safe. Stay put. No, we'll want to put rerolls in. And another snake has bitten him. Both coaches play one way. They only have one gear in this respect, which is everything. And, like, just occasionally, I think they both do a little better if just they took that gear and just, like, you know, I've got a 7th gear, right? Davo, you don't own a 7th gear, but if you did, you could do all this. Just slow down. And Crystal Hunter is looking at scoring. And this could have been 0-1 at the half. It's now looking like the best the Dark Elves can do is 1-1 at the half. And that is a problem. Okay. We've got some cheering fans and Treacherous Trapdoor, which is utterly pointless. But if the Dark Elves can turn this in, it's basically like having a long format 1 turn. Not the end of the world. This is going to be 1 turn where I think the ball is going to be slightly exposed. We can go. We've only moved forward 5 squares. Sorry, 3 squares from where it is, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, yeah, and then you've got 3 more squares of forward movement. So we can only get the ball to here. Or we're rushing and handing it off. And who doesn't enjoy a casual handoff? Apothecary, was that deployed? No. Ball is now on a blodge thing. This is a bit flimsy on the round the back. This is a bit flimsy. This guy should have been further north. Like there is the square. Because this is very flimsy. Right, 3s, free, because it's not here. So it's a 3 up, and another 3 up, and a 2 up. It's 3-3-2 for 2D on the ball, for strip ball. See, big difference here between Crystal Hunter and the Dark Elves in some of the turns has been, see how Crystal Hunter's jammed a load of stuff in. He's only got 2 players free to act. And he's gone for the 3 up dodge. Gets it. And the strip ball fires, so he can push it into the Rat Ogre, presumably. And does he follow? Yes, because he wants all of the scatter ability to happen. Bad scatter from the Skaven's perspective. And that is wild. That's absolutely wild. It's dead, Jim. There's a Dark Elf holding it again. Yes. So, 1 Gutter Runner, deaded. 1 Gutter Runner, stunned. 1 Rat Ogre, punchable. And we've seen how ineffective the Skaven are when they have no Gutter Runners and no Rat Ogre. It'll be interesting to see whether the Rat Ogre is removed from the field of play. Page. And that's a 6+, and a 6+, and a 6+. So there's no easy dodging. And the Dark Elves absolutely dominating everything here. Mighty Blows, yeah, this is Skaven are just going to run away. So we can actually just move forward with our lives. Wasn't sure about the Rat Ogre standing up here, because if the Rat Ogre stands up, it's just going to take another one to the face. So we'll watch it forward a little bit further, but notice that Rat Ogre is absolutely taking one to the head. It is mathematically better to do blitzing with the Witch Elves. The Witch Elves take down things 80% of the time. The blitzers only do it 75% of the time if players don't have block. So it is the right thing to be doing. Often when you roll a both down and a push, it doesn't feel like it. Skaven's on the floor, Dark Elves score. So 1-1. And the Skaven already sacrificing this and saying, nope, not interested. So, Skaven absolutely staying back. So at this point, the Dark Elves, I think what the Dark Elves should be doing here is they know that the 1 turn the way that you win this is you can either kill all 3 gut runners, incredibly unlikely, or you can deal with the rat ogre. Because they're not going to stand these guys up, right? They're just not. So, yeah, we'll call that turn. That doesn't get rid of the man in the middle. And the Skaven don't do anything again. Still hasn't got rid of the man in the middle. Grr. He's not there. Skip forwards. 1 Dark Elf Blitzer is going to get blitzed. See, if you're going to send something forward, I think you need to send 3 things forward. Because you need to not let them get isolated and picked on. And then you've got multiple players to be able to throw some hits next turn. So I get that you need to put some people in to stop the line rat standing up. But I think once you need to be ready to come forward as a unit, or you need to stay back as a unit. Stand away from the rat ogre, very smart. You can't stand on this rank here, so you probably could stand 1 further across, just to make the rat ogre have to make a double rush to blitz into the cage. Gets a kapow. Fine. Yeah, better. Okay. Now the Skaven have to really make a decision, because this is your first choice where if the Skaven actually plough into this, then they lose. So they're not going for the for the ball at all. And in fact, look what happens, right? They just... Now the rat ogre is getting picked on. Can the Dark Elves afford to foul it? Not really. I mean, they have got 11 players, so in theory, yes. If the Apothecary was gone, which it has done, maybe you could foul it. But do you need to foul it, right? Probably not. I mean, it's one of those high risk, high rewards. If you paid it off and you killed it, amazing. But actually, probably not. What we're going to do is we're going to skip forward a little bit, because this is like, there's basically just the 2 teams are just dancing around one another. And the reason they're dancing around one another is because the win con for the Skaven is to get the 1 turn and receive, and the win con for the Dark Elves is to not lose, like not get punched here. So these 3 have run away, right? Sadly, there isn't anything else to do. Both players are playing the right thing to do, but there's not much from a commentary perspective I can talk about, makes it interesting. So the rat ogre is still around. The Skaven are down to 9. And the Dark Elves have a full 11, which means they've got a full 4-3-2 to get through. So this is actually interesting. Here we go. And there's also an ambulance coming down the road here. I wonder if you'll hear the siren in a sec. No, I don't think you are. I can hear it. Just switched it on. So it's a bit of changing weather. The ball is completely fine. And he's going for the 3-up handoff immediately. Both that fills in the square, and also so jumps it down to 1 reroll. Gets the first push, which he requires. Now he's going to require a second push. Gets it. So now he's got the two dudes. The bloody dude's back again, isn't he? So he's in. And he can save himself a dodge because there's a player stood on that square there, so he can get 2 dice block there, and then he can run down the corner. When I said 2, I meant 3. Shh. Don't the top players just make it look easy, right? And we're having overtime. And the Dark Elves have received. So let's get forward into turn 18. Has that made the man go away? Oh, he hasn't gone away. Okay, so Dark Elves have got the ball inside a box. which is fine. Not sure about giving away the free hit there. +1 armor value. Saves him. Literally saves him. Armor value, best skill in game. This ball is very safe. So if you know you're 2-2, you're going to be 3-2 behind potentially if you're not able to do something. During this drive, Crystal Hunter doesn't have very many players left, right? He's quite light on players. So does he throw the Rat Ogre in your view, and like he has done here, and try and get some sort of like upset, or does he play for the one turn? What would you do? Now, I think I would surf the Rat Ogre in this particular example. Yeah, I'm surfing the Rat Ogre here. I'll show you for how. Right, pause. So, if you stand here, so put that there, what we then got is that these three squares are all filled in the T-shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bunch, 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 bunch. Right? The Rat Ogre is now in the square that's prone. The Gutter Runner is in this square. And then we can punch and push this guy here. So this guy ends up here. The Gutter Runner doesn't fall over. The Rat Ogre is stood in that square there. And the Gutter Runner is here. At that point, we can then punch here, and the Gutter Runner goes here, the Rat Ogre goes there. And if I'd have done a little bit of finagling first, we can probably, almost certainly, we should have filled in that square, and then we have a T-shape, right? My prone player is here. We fill in that square with maybe this Witch Elf here, and then we punch, and the Rat Ogre goes on the floor, and the Rat Ogre dies, right? And if we do that, then hurrah. So let's see what actually happens. That's right, everyone. We play nice and safe. Boo! Now, this is a World Series final. I think that I would also be playing probably quite safe. This isn't some sort of random ladder match where I'm trying to take the piss. So I don't hate it at all. And yeah, in fact, in my games, I don't do wild and wacky things. So I can't in any other way other than with a big grin on my face say boo, right? Boo. But at the same time, boo. So by not standing the Rat Ogre up and involving the Rat Ogre in some sort of decision making, oh my word, he's up. Blitz the guard vermin, have a fight, or run away. Dark Elves are having a bit of a runaway action. Don't quite know why the Machete Man's on the field in the World Championship semi-finals, but he is. This is 2 into 1 if he blitzes it. Oh, he's going to blitz it with the blitzer. Okay. Now, I would always be very nervous of the strip baller coming in and stripping my ball. But I think, ultimately, you can't stop a 6+ dive. And what Crystal Hunter's probably playing for is he's done no damage at all to the Dark Elves in this set. He needs to do something, because he knows that even if just getting rid of one makes the one turn so much more likely. Right. I'm gonna skip this forward because the Dark Elves just bounce forward here, right? And there's not a lot of action going on. So we're just going to skip forward to turn... In fact, I'm just going to skip it forward to turn 24. Because nothing interesting happens. The Dark Elves can score. I'm conscious of the length of the VOD is why I'm bothered. Is it a removal? No. It pops it in. Right. So Crystal Hunter is playing for kicks. The Dark Elves have managed to make a 3-2. So we've had 2 draws so far. The Dark Elves have managed to find a 3rd touchdown given 24 turns. And can they, Skaven, with a lot less players than they actually need, can they get this done? Dark Elves still have... I can't believe they've got so many players. That's outrageous. That's a solid defence. That is a very solid defence. Oh no, he's blown his reroll on the easy thing. And he's dropped it. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be your grand finalists. AndyDavo, and the winner of this match, a certain PurpleChest. Commiserations to Crystal Hunter, goes off into the 3rd, 4th placed playoff. And congratulations to the victorious Purple Delves. And that is going to be your grand final. It is going to be AndyDavo versus... PurpleChest. Let's put it up on the screen for you now. There we go. We filled him in, and it's up. Join me into next video, and you can see who wins: the mighty AndyDavo and his Old World Alliance, or the glorious PurpleChest and his Dark Elves. Thank you very much indeed for watching. See you in the next video.